In 2025, I've really set my intentions to be more purposeful on my spending and not just spending blindly. This year, I really want to focus on being more purposeful in my beauty spending, but also in other areas of my life. All of this really came about because my family and I were going to upgrade our car and it was going to be more expensive. And I had already been kind of thinking about how can we save money? How can we spend less eating out and buying groceries all the time? And this new car purchase idea came about, and that's when I really knew, okay, if we're going to do the car, then we really need to tighten up in areas where we really could. Well, it turns out that we didn't actually do that car upgrade, but I still want to have that mindset of being more intentional about certain areas where I can really tighten up our spending budget. So today I'm here to share with you all of the different ways in which I have thought out areas in which I can cut back on spending and plans that I have in order to make that happen. This really is kind of a twofold process. I want to spend less money, and that way we have more money to save for vacation or taxes or whatever it might be that we are wanting to have a little extra money for. But it's also just to be more aware of what we have. Our pantry is full of stuff that we don't use. I have a lot of makeup, and some might say that I have a smaller makeup collection, but it's still enough. It's still more than I need. And so just kind of different areas of my life where I've realized things are kind of overflowing. And if you're like that and you are kind of realizing that your life is sort of like bubbling over and the things that you're owning and accumulating are bubbling over, and at the end of the month you have no idea where your money went, then I would love for you to subscribe to my channel so you can follow along with my no-buy journey this year and see if I can really stick to the plan that I have set forth for me and my family. We're going to start out today by talking about my makeup, skincare, beauty low buy. I have always just sort of bought whenever I wanted to, but whether it's at Walmart, Target, Ulta, Sephora, all the different places, I generally just buy whenever I feel like it. Kind of in the back of my mind, knowing how much I'm spending, but not really setting myself on any particular monetary budget. So this year, I really want to change that. And my low buy is going to, I hope, give me a little bit of flexibility to get some things when I need it, when I actually need it, or if I want it during certain times of the year, and only spending a certain amount of money. So here is my guidelines for my low buy. I'm going to allow myself to make beauty purchases during the shorter months. So February, which has 28, and also the 30 day a month months, if that makes sense. So if the month has 31 days in it, then I am not going to allow myself to buy anything. Except for July, that is my birthday month, and probably December. In order to combat that, I'm hoping during the year from one of those shorter months like February, April, one of the shorter 30-day months, that I actually won't spend any money during that time. So hopefully that makes sense. It does in my mind. The other thing that I'm really going to implement is during that month when I'm allowing myself to spend, I'm only going to spend $50. $50 goes for anything that's a replacement. Say if I run out of setting spray in February, I can buy a setting spray. If I run out of setting spray in March, that has 31 days, then I'm not going to buy a setting spray until the next month. And even though it's a replacement, I'm still going to count that towards my $50 purchase. If I have any money left over from that $50 at the end of the month, then I'm going to carry that over in my beauty bank that I'm going to allow for myself, because my goal is to kind of curb my spending throughout the year, so that in November and December, when all of the massive sales are going on, I'll have a little bit more than $50 to spend. So that's the goal. We'll see how it works. So what I may do, I just had this idea, is look to see how much does that allow me to spend, and I'll put that total on the screen for the year in beauty purchases. So we'll see how that goes. And that includes, like I said, replacements in a skincare, moisturizer, anything that's a replacement, it counts. And it also means that I cannot just add something to my Walmart cart just because I want to, and it won't count. It will count. I can't add an eyeshadow palette or something from e.l.f. and it not count. It will count towards my beauty budget spending. If you have any questions about that, leave it in the comments. Hopefully I explained it good enough. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I have this goal of also saving money and cutting back in other areas of my life. I have a lot of clothes because I have this very, very unhealthy habit of gaining weight and losing weight and gaining weight and losing weight. So I have clothes for my skinnier self and I have clothes for my fatter self, and I have some clothes for in between. And right now I'm on the bigger end, so I have, a lot of those bigger clothes. And it's winter, so all of that's just taking up a lot of space in my closet. So I don't need to buy any more clothes. The only thing that I'm going to allow myself to buy this year for like clothing purchases and shoes is if I like sandals or like flip-flops, shorts in the summertime, because the shorts that I had from last summer are not going to fit. So unless I lose weight, I will need shorts for the summer. So all in all, I think I'm going to be okay with clothes for the year. I work from home, so I really don't have to have like, really thick sweaters and pants and dress clothes and things like that. I can wear my pajamas if I want to, and no one would ever know. That's the great thing about working from home. So I am on a no buy for clothes, aside from perhaps shoe replacements or shorts in the summertime. And that also includes thrifting. I really like to go with some of our church members to a couple of our thrift stores, and my daughter and I like to go to this other like thrift store kind of thing where they have free books, and it's like really random books that people will donate. And for her, I'm gonna try to cut back her spending and the money we spend on her also. But this video today is really kind of overarching, talking about what I can mostly control. I can control her spending. You get what I'm saying. But anyway, so she likes to go and kind of look at that. And she likes to get these really random books like family medical journals and psychology books like from college. So she likes those kind of things. And also she's growing. She's 12. She's going to be 13 next month. So she needs new clothes because she's growing. So we're not cutting her back in those areas, but maybe some of the other like little nonsense areas where she spends money. The last area that I really kind of wanted to share with you my ideas, and hopefully this will be inspiring to you if you are someone who is like me, where my pantry is overflowing. There are things everywhere, and this happens all the time, and I'm constantly having to go through, throw things away because they're past the expiration date, or they've been open for a really long time and they're stale and things like that. I really have a goal for our food and our eating habits. One, I really want for us to eat out less. Even though we live in the middle of nowhere and there's not really a lot of great options for food, we still find ourselves eating out a lot and still spending the same amount of money that we do at the grocery store as if we ate at home all the time. So we're sort of like double spending. So I really want for us to overall cut back on the amount that we are eating out. And one way that I really want to do that is to have 1 week every month where we only eat at home. So during that week, no eating out. And on the other weeks, maybe just trying to only eat out like 2 or 3 or 4 times instead of 5 and 6 and 7 times that we eat out. So eating out less, having 1 week every month where we only eat at home. And during those meals that I'm planning, I want to kind of like have this theory of rating my pantry. I want to take a look at what I have in the pantry already and use that food to make my meal planning decisions. You know, same thing with the freezer and the refrigerator, just trying, and I've kind of done that a little bit this week. Yesterday I made chili and we had some leftover chicken broth from something. So I told my daughter, hey, we're just going to use this instead of water. Clug, clug, you know. I did the same thing with a roast tonight. We had another thing of extra chicken broth and I used that instead of water. So you know, using up those things that I already had opened in the fridge so that they don't have to go in the trash is just really going to make me feel so much better about our budget and the intentionality with which we are going to start hopefully spending our money. So rating the pantry, I think, is going to be very, very helpful in stopping us from spending more. Another idea that I have is, I know this about myself, and this may be you too. If it is, let me know in the comments that I'm not alone. If I go to Walmart, I'm going to spend more money than I need to because I'm going to see other things that I want or I forgot that I need. If I do grocery pickup, I'm only going to get the things that I really needed and that I purposely ordered. I'm not going to get extra things. So I'm going to try to make myself do the meal planning so that I can do my grocery pickup more intentionally. And for me, the grocery pickup is not in our town, so I do have to kind of have that mapped out in my head. When am I going to go pick up the groceries? What day, what time of the day am I going to pick up the groceries? Do I already need to go into town so that I'm not kind of like wasting gas just going? But the priority will be to do the grocery pickup instead of going into the store. I'm really, really hoping that those 3 or 4 areas of my life, the makeup and beauty, the clothing and the food and the eating out, that those things can really be curbed, set on a straighter path, more intentional spending and knowing what I have will really help us by the end of the year to be able to just be smarter spenders, and maybe we'll have a little bit of money to do a vacation, or like I said, have money to pay my husband's taxes at the end of the year, because of his job he doesn't have them taken out, so we have to plan that, and if we don't plan that, then we get to pay it all at one time out of pocket. It's no fun. So let me know in the comments if you have any other ideas for like my makeup and beauty low buy, or food, just ways that you possibly save money on your eating and, you know, meal planning kind of things. I am going to do another video about my beauty stuff and like how I plan to curb that desire to want to go and buy more and really be able to enjoy the things I have. That's coming up soon, probably next. So if you like makeup content, make sure you subscribe before you go and like this video if you are trying to save some money in 2025 like me. I will see you in another one. Bye.